Good evening, everyone. My name is Lasalini, and my presentation today will be on learning theories. On the question, how does learning take place? Today, I'm going to walk you through three major learning theories that help explain how we learn and how we process and retain information. Learning theories explain how people acquire knowledge and skills. Let's begin by grounding ourselves in what learning theories are and why they matter in education. Learning theories, these are guides, are frameworks that help us understand how people acquire knowledge, develop knowledge and skills, develop skills, and how their behavior change from what they've gained. These are not just academic ideas, but it influences how teachers teach, how students learn, and how teachers can design their classroom that is effective for learning to take place. Now, in this presentation, we'll explore three key perspectives. These are the learning theories, the behavioral learning theory, cognitive learning theory, and sociocultural theory. Each theory will be illustrated with their real-world experience. Now we will look at behavioral theory. The overview for behavioral theory. Now, behavioral theory focuses on observable behavior, uh, meaning it looks at what people actually do rather than what's happening inside their minds. Now, according to behavioral learning theory, learning happens through conditioning, which involves rewards and punishment. Basically, if a behavior is followed by something positive, like a reward, it's more likely to happen again. If it's followed by something negative, like a punishment, the behavior is less likely to be repeated. Key theorists for this theory are B.F. Skinner and John Watson. With behavioral theory, there are two main types of conditioning: classical conditioning, and which is learning by association, and operant conditioning, which is learning through consequences like rewards and punishment. Now, let me explain the two types of conditioning for behavioral theory: classical conditioning and operant conditioning. Classical conditioning is learning by association. It happens when an animal starts to connect two things that happens together. For example, like the example that was given, if a dog hears a bell every day, every time it's about to be fed. When that is being repeated, eventually the dog will start to associate bell with food. So now, after the dog is associated bell, meaning that it's about to be fed, then whenever it hears the bell, it knows that food is ready, even if there is no food yet. Now, for operant conditioning, on the other hand, is learning through consequences. This means that the behaviors are shaped by rewards or punishment. So this is something that happens a lot in the classroom. Teacher rewards students for completing their work on time, for displaying good behavior in the classroom. They are being rewarded, and when to show students when they are rewarded for certain behaviors, when they are rewarded, it's to show students that there is the desired behavior in the classroom, the kind of behavior that children should portray while they're in the classrooms. That's why they are rewarded. But when they scolded for not doing their homework, or when they are misbehaving in class, they might try to avoid that behavior. For behavioral theory learning episode, like it says, that a child learns to work well with others in groups and complete work in class. The context, teacher gives group points and rewards at the end of the week, and students get to move out for an early break time. The analysis, positive reinforcement, strengthens the behavior. Stimulus response pattern, classroom, complete work, and they are being rewarded. Learning is shaped by external feedback. Cognitive theory. Now let's look at cognitive theory, and unlike behavioral theory, which focuses on what we can see, cognitive theory focuses on what is happening inside the mind, or our internal mental processes. Focuses on internal mental processes. Learning involves thinking, memory, and problem solving. This theory suggests that learning involves important activities like thinking, memory, and problem solving. So it's not just about reacting to rewards or punishment, but about understanding, organizing, and using of information. The two key theorists in this area are John Piaget and Jerome Bruno, who studied how we develop our thinking skills over time. Some important concepts in cognitive theory includes schema, which are mental frameworks or structures we use to organize information, and we take in the information that we take in, that we store, and how we use that information for our own thinking, or for future references, something that we can think back to when we come across a similar topic or concept. So for cognitive theory learning episode, a student learns to solve algebraic equations. Here's an example of cognitive theory in action. Imagine a student learning to solve algebraic equations. First, the teacher explains the steps. Student, it helps when the teacher explains the steps. This helps student to build mental models, or what we call schemas, to understand how to approach the problem. As the students practice solving equations, they use their working memory and logical thinking to apply the steps. Importantly, the student also reflects on the mistake they make and adjust their strategies. This process of thinking about their own thinking, they're correcting themselves, is called metacognition. For the analysis, learner builds mental model schemas, uses working memory and logic to solve problems, reflects on errors, and adjusting strategies, metacognition. This process of thinking about his own thinking is called metacognition, and it helps students become a more effective learner over time. Now let's take a look at socio-cultural theory. This theory highlights that learning is deeply influenced or shaped by social interaction and culture, emphasizes collaboration and guided learning. Uh, it emphasizes how we often learn best when we work together with others, whether it's peers, amongst teachers, or family, and when we receive support through guided learning. A key theorist in this perspective is Lev Vygotsky, who introduced important ideas like the zone of proximal development, ZPD. This zone represents the gap between what a learner can do independently and what they can achieve with help. Another important concept is scaffolding, which refers to the support and guidance provided by the more smarter students or the more knowledgeable students. They help others to learn when they guide them in whatever work they're doing. This guidance is helping the ones who needs attention to learn in their zone of development until they can perform tasks on their own. Let's look at an episode of sociocultural theory. Here's an example of the theory. Students work together on a science project. In the context, a knowledgeable peer guides others in designing an experiment. Here's an example. Imagine a group of students working together on a science project. In this situation, the more knowledgeable peer guides the others as they design an experiment. This guidance happens within what Vygotsky called the zone of proximal development, or the space between what learners can do on their own and on what they can achieve with support. The peer analysis learning occurs in the zone of proximal development with peer support. Scaffolding helps learners gain independence, and language and cultural tools mediate, mediate understanding. Additionally, language and cultural tools play a big role. Here, they help mediate understanding and allow learners to share ideas and solve problems together as a group. This is a comparison of theories, the theory for behavioral, just a short summary of what we've just talked about. For behavioral theory, it focuses on observable behavior. The key mechanism there is reinforcement, the role of others, external control. For cognitive, mental process is the focus, information processing for key mechanism, and individual reflection or metacognition. Sociocultural theory, the focus is on social interaction. The key mechanism is a collaboration and a zone of proximal development, and the role of others is through guided practice. Finally, let's look at some practical ways these theories can be applied in learning settings. From the behavioral perspective, using rewards to shape behavior. Using rewards and positive reinforcement can help shape and encourage the desired behaviors. For cognitive theory, encourage problem solving and reflection. It's important to encourage learners to actively solve problems and reflect on their own thinking, which helps deepen understanding and helps build a stronger mental skills for children to be able to think on their own. And from the socio-cultural viewpoint, promote group work and peer mentoring. Promoting group work and peer mentoring, this supports learning through social interactions, guided support, and helping learners grow together. These will help learners to work together in groups and appreciate and value what others had to put in through their discussion. To conclude, each theory offers valuable insights into how people learn. Each of these learning theories, the behavioral, cognitive, and social cultural theory, they offer valuable insights into the complex process of how people learn. These theories have helped people helped teachers in and guided them and have guided teachers into how they can set up their classrooms and in a learning environment. In reality, effective teaching often blends elements from all three. Yes, effective teaching often combines elements from all three approaches to meet diverse learners, uh, especially for students, especially in a classroom with different backgrounds, different abilities. These picking points from the elements from the three theories will help a teacher to meet all the different learning abilities in the students. And by understanding these theories will help educators to design a more thoughtful and effective learning experience, helps educators design better learning experience that can truly support students' growth. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed that short presentation. Here are the list of references in which I was able to gather my information for my presentation. Binaksarwa level, and thank you for listening.